here.
Good morning, sir.
All right, let's do a service, huh? Hi, Stan. Hi, Larry. Shabbat Shalom, gentlemen. I'm doing okay. Doing all right. You know, I'm with you. So, that's the story. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Man, take a look around. See the Pnei Shabbat, the faces of people who are gathering. Kind of a quiet Shabbat. This kind of one of those kind of quiet weekends, holiday, and people on break, and people away, and people in town, and not even religious school. So the place feels different, you know? So we have each other. This is us, to coin a phrase. We're not sharing the building this morning with the students and teachers, and Lisa gets to be here because of religious school vacation, right? So let's just enjoy being together on this Shabbat day. We've got a whole bunch of things going on in the midst of this quiet Shabbat, and I'll get to those in a bit, but just want to start by acknowledging one another. Give yourself permission to take a look around and see who is here. Got wonderful guests from faraway lands like Los Angeles. And I think other points, we have some people coming also with Julie, family from Ohio, and we'll have some time in the middle of the service to see if anyone wants to say hello and introduce themselves. But we are here, Minyan Plus, and lots of heart and soul to begin the Shabbat day. So let's just sing a nigun, a melody without words, to get everyone warmed up, to get Leslie and I warmed up. I need a lot more warming than Leslie does, but what did you do? Oh, you cheated and warmed up already? All right. Well, for December, 23rd, we don't have to do as much warming as we normally feel like, right? So anyway, for all the reasons that, we want to just raise our voices. So this is easy. There's no words, just spirit and breath and sound. So everyone is encouraged to lend their voice. You'll catch on to the melody if you haven't heard it before. It's pretty easy to find your way into, and everybody's voice counts. So take a deep breath with me. In Hebrew, that's called nishima amuka, a phrase that I think of, even if I don't say it out loud, I often just kind of invoke to myself. Nishima amuka, it just means literally a deep breath. And that word neshama means breath, but also means soul. So it's kind of about breathing into your soul, kind of taking conscious breaths that help us, remind us about being our best selves. So sing with us. Sing together. Everybody, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai-dai. Keep on singing, Stan. Don't ever stop. Keep on singing. Page 51, Talmud tells us that among the very first things we're supposed to reflect on and be conscious of in the morning is gratitude. And so this prayer is built into the tradition as a morning meditation, a morning prayer of being thankful. And the reason it's there in the morning is because it's the right way to start our day, despite our challenges, despite all of the things that are really difficult that we all go through and that society is going through and the world is going through. It's a perilous time for sure. Tradition says there's always something we can be thankful for. And in fact, this prayer, this morning prayer, we're thankful for these guys who just got here. Welcome. In fact, what the tradition says is if you can't come up with anything else when you wake up in the morning and open your eyes and kind of wipe the sleep away and get up on your feet, if you can't think of anything else to be grateful for, how about just the fact that you woke up? You know? For all of the opportunities and people and experiences, adventures that might happen during the course of the day that you never, or the people that your relationships. So just to begin a day having woken up is in itself a blessing. And so Modeh Ani says just that. It just says really simply, I am grateful. Modeh, Moda Ani. I like to chant it. We've been doing this on Saturday mornings 3 times all the way through, using 3 different, I guess, euphemisms for God, 3 different describers, ways to describe godliness. The first is the traditional way, which is melech. That's the word many people know from Jewish prayer. It means king or ruler. So we're describing God in that sense as a ruler of life, melechai. But then there's some other kind of adjectives that feel a little more contemporary ways of expressing spirituality. The second is ruach. Ruach is a wonderful Hebrew word that means spirit, but also breath, also wind. So describing God as the breath of life, a little bit of a softer, less gender-focused, and even less human-focused kind of way of talking about God as the breath of life. And then finally, another Hebrew word, mayan, which also can be a Hebrew name. I know some mayans. Mayan means source. So in this sense, mayan chai means the source of life. And so melech first, ruach second, mayan third, and feel free to use whatever, you know. Those are the ones I'll be saying. Y'all can whichever one's your favorite, or if you've got a fourth alternative, put it in there. We'll be a cacophony of daveners. Here we go. Modeh ani lefanecha melechai v'kayam. Modeh ani lefanecha melechai v'kayam. Modeh ani lefanecha. Modeh ani lefanecha. Modeh ani lefanecha. Ruachai v'kayam. Modeh ani lefanecha. Ruachai v'kayam. Modeh ani lefanecha. Modeh ani lefanecha. Modeh ani lefanecha. Mayan chai v'kayam. Modeh ani lefanecha. Mayan chai v'kayam. Modeh ani lefanecha. Modeh ani lefanecha. Amen. Page 52. So we kind of start the service inward, right? Sort of our spirits, the breath, awakening, just kind of finding our own place in this moment, this Shabbat morning. We have time on Shabbat. We've chosen to carve out time to really make Shabbat a meaningful and holy time, the way it's meant to be. And then we kind of lift up from ourselves to others, and we remember and recognize that it's not just us, that we're here with community. And so we sing Matovu, kind of reminding us of the kind of community we hope to be, one where everybody is welcome and everybody feels included. Everyone that comes here is part of this family, our extended family. And so there's so much happening today on this Shabbat. I'm really blessed to have Jerry and Patty, and Jerry's going to give the teaching today on Vayigash, which is Marin's portion a year from now, right? Give me a yes. Okay, a thumbs up, that'll do. So Marin, Jerry, we're all going to be listening to you give the drash, but Marin most attentively. So, and Jerry will tell us why he's chosen to give this Devar Torah in just a bit. So we're really, and they also brought treats, which we'll tell you about in a little bit. And I have, like, every time I look at the front row, I see these two amazing newlyweds, these grooms, Adam and Tien, who were married, has it been a month and a half? 6-ish weeks ago. So a mazel tov to Adam and Tien here with their wonderful, our family, their family, Aaron in from Baltimore, right? And just going to have a blessing before the Devar Torah. I came up with this word. Actually, I was driving to services last night, and when you get a blessing in synagogue before your wedding, it's called an ufruf. It's kind of a strange Yiddish term, ufruf. But it's. So I was thinking, but this isn't an ufruf because you're already married, so it's a post-ruf. I'm trademark Randy Fleischer. Yeah, well, not secrecy, but just leave. It's mine. Could be there might be post-roofs all over the world now with synagogues. Post-roof, right? Okay. Yes, trademark patent. So we're looking forward to your blessing, your post-roof. And we'll in a bit we'll see if anyone else wants to say hello and introduce themselves. But for now, Matovu. Oh, also, besides us, this wonderful congregation that's gathered here, We're also, we have a larger congregation that's watching us from wherever they may be because of our streaming, which is such a blessing. We were kind of during the time we were closed here. I know it's kind of like ancient history at this point, but when I think about it, it's just immense to me that we were closed, because of COVID for almost 2 years. All of our services were online, and our programs and our classes. It's pretty astounding. I mean, obviously we're just a microcosm of the whole world that went through this kind of lockdown to keep each other as healthy and safe as possible. But during that time, we recognized, that people are going to want to. People found us, all kinds of places, and so we created that. I call it the AV booth, like from high school. Remember this AV room, and we have Michael, who's back there making sure that that whoever wants to see us from wherever they are can be part of this community. So be mindful of them. And Miles is back there with his able assistants. And so we really can say Ma Tovu. It is good to be together, all of us here, all of us out there, for everything we're going through. Just to show up at synagogue is an act of great strength and courage and holiness. And I'm glad that we're all here. It is Tov. It is good. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Yai la 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 ya la 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 yai la la yai la 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 yai la 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 ya la 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 yai la la. Here we go. Yai la 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 la. Here we go. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov, ya la 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 la. Keep going. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Amen. Welcome, Julie and Julie's family from Ohio. So glad you guys. We were waiting for y'all. But we're glad you're here. So I'm going to go off Siddur, I guess, script. To the extent that the Siddur is kind of our script of prayer. Probably a few times, but including this time. Something different for the morning blessing. We generally chant the blessings on pages 53 and 54, but I sometimes introduce or reintroduce this version of the morning blessings, which is in English, based on, modeled after the traditional Berchot HaShachar, the morning blessings. Something I learned for the Jewish Renewal Community many years ago at a service overlooking this beautiful lake. There were movements, which I won't subject you to, that go along with this version of the morning blessings. So there's a refrain that I will sing now, and you can sing that with me eventually, but then it's kind of a modified sort of call and response morning blessing. So the refrain that will kind of interject after each verse goes like this. Morning will unfold for us. Morning will unfold for us. Life will rise from dust. Life will rise from dust. We're rising in remembrance. We're rising in remembrance of your love, of your love. You open up our eyes to see. You have made us free. We're rising in remembrance of your love. You lift us up when we are down. You share with us your royal crown. We're rising in remembrance of your love. You guide our steps at every turn. You teach us what we need to learn. We're rising in remembrance of your love. You give us strength when we are weak, reminding us of what we seek. We're rising in remembrance of your love. Beyond imagination, your presence fills creation. We're rising in remembrance of your love. You lift the slumber from our eyes. You signal for the sun to rise. We're rising in remembrance of your love. Amen. And now a few spontaneous or extemporaneous morning blessings, if you so choose. We'll say the first words of the blessing formula. And if anybody wants to just kind of raise their hand and shout out something you're thankful for this morning, we can kind of fill the air in this service with even more blessings and share our gratitude with each other. So give it a try. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Yes, Barb. It's awesome. And you brought Mel up from the back row. So, wow, Mel, like everyone. And look, Fuzzy took your seat for today. See, look, so he's holding your space, which definitely needs to be held. So, pretty impressive, I have to say. Pretty impressive. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Yes, John. 3 miles, John. Good for, that's, yeah. Well, good. Yasher koach, John Samet. Look at you. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Joy. Your cul-de-sac. There are good people. I believe you. And you are kind of like right up there in the forefront of doer of mitzvahs. Joy, really, it's inspiring. And tell your cul-de-sac, oh, kol hakavod. Get it? Like, it's a little, because of kol, this. Amen. But. Yeah, yard signs. Kol hakavod, cul-de-sac. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Julie.
I'm grateful to have my family here from California, New York, and Ohio to celebrate my 60th birthday.
Oh, Mazel Tov. Man. So wait, introduce everybody, please.
I will be happy to do so. This is my little brother,
Aw.
Malloy, from Cincinnati, Ohio. Next to him is my nephew Val, and then Becky, my sister-in-law, all from Cincinnati. There is Shoshana, you all know her. She's my daughter. And Jonathan Capillion, who is her fiance.
Wow.
Who is in medical school in New York, and Shoshana's in graduate school in California. They meet in the middle.
Baruchim habaim. What a blessing that you're here. Val, I remember you lit candles with us. Was it a year ago? More? A time is so strange, but a bit ago. And we're just glad you're all here. And Mazel Tov, Shoshana and Jonathan. And I know there's more blessings, but I believe we've done a pretty good job of inspiring each other and lifting each other up. So let's give one more. Amen. Amen. Oftentimes in this part of the service, before we go into the Barhu and the rest of the service, the Psalms play an integral role, and sometimes we even dance to the Psalms here at CRC, to the Pesukei Zimra. I'm going to have us all, if you want to stand and dance, you can, but this isn't really a danceable melody. But I have a psalm that I'd like to sing with everyone. I've been doing this for the last couple, I was joking. You don't need to stand. I mean, I think you guys were like half listening because I gave you permission to stand. That's different than requesting that you stand. I must have failed that class at rabbinical school. I don't know. So. I guess. So this psalm, or this little verse of a psalm, I've been singing it a lot at services because I learned it when Amy and I were living in Israel back in the mid-90s. We learned it from our rabbi who led I think he's retired now, Levi Kelman, who has family in St. Louis. But Levi ran a congregation called Kol HaNishama. There's that word nishama again. And Kol again, exactly. And it was a very progressive, liberal, reform congregation in the heart of Jerusalem, which isn't always an easy way to be Jewish in Jerusalem, so give him tons of credit for doing that. But I learned this melody for the psalm, and the psalm has been speaking to me a lot since October 7th, and because it's about strength, it's about song, it's about those things that give us. The word is salvation, which isn't a word we use all that much, but it's in the Psalms. But really that help us through these really perilous times. And so sing it, for ourselves, but also for, those people who are still hostages, captive in Gaza, for all those that are engaged in this war, which we just, so many people caught in the crossfire. In need of strength, and it's just a horrendous situation all the way around. And so oftentimes in our tradition, we go to the Psalms, and the Tehillim is the name of the book in Hebrew. And there's people who recite Tehillim whenever there's a dangerous, troublesome, difficult situation. And so felt like this was an appropriate one for these times. The Hebrew is Ozi v'zimrat Yah, vayehili lishua. Ozi v'zimrat Yah, vayahili lishua. And the translation is, or my translation, poetically, I guess, or metaphorically, is the strength, Ozi, and the song of the breath of life is our salvation. The strength and the song of the breath of life, that one who animates all, is our salvation. So, inject your own theology in there, but it's about strength and song and how that can help us even in the most difficult of times. Ozi v'zimrat Yah, Vayahili Lishua Ozi V'zimrad Yah Vayahili Lishua Ozi V'zimrad Yah Vayahili Lishua. Page 58. Yikadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba be'alma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute b'chai yechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho be'Yisrael Bagala uvizman kari v'imeru amen Yehi shmei rabba mivorach le'olam u'me'omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitchomam v'yinaseh v'yithadar v'yithale v'yithalal shmei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imeru amen. Amen. And now this is a moment of calling. We call each other to prayer. And here is a passage about calling. Call forth a moment of earth, of trees and rocks and soil, and mountains and sand and field. Call forth moments of water, ocean, streams, rain, waterfall, swimming hole. Call forth moments of air, wind, song, breath, and breeze. Call forth moments of fire, candles and sun, and campfire and lightning. Call forth values like compassion and joy and peace and love for yourself and for all beings, be they north, south, east, west, above, or below. Let these elemental images and these godly qualities ground us as we open our hearts to these moments of Shabbat prayer. If you are able, please rise. The Hebrew is on page 59, and there's also some English that we've added as a kavanah. Also some lailas, just for the spirit of it all. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Please be seated. This, before the Shema, there's always some mention of the natural world. In the evening, we talk about the coming of nighttime, and as we did last night. And in the morning, the natural world part is all about light, of course, the light of day. So in place of the prayer, because of the winter solstice that we just observed and passed through, the beginning of winter a couple of days ago, I want to read a passage from a rabbi named Jill Hammer, who writes beautifully about spirituality and Judaism and nature and the kind of the cross currents and coming together of all of that. I know that Karen Flotty knows Rabbi Jill and her work. So this is what Jill Hammer wrote about the solstice. She says, in nature, this is the season of rains, snow, ice, or hail, depending on where you live. According to the Sefer Yetzirah, water is the element of winter, and this fits with our experience at this time. Yet, according to the Zohar, north, the direction of the glaciers for those of us in the northern hemisphere, is the direction not of water, but of fire. Fire, with its liveliness and warmth, is our inner role model at this time. It is the warmth beneath the snow, the heat of the roots of the tree. As the days grow longer, we awaken to the warmth of the coming spring. The Shekhinah, the divine presence, washes us with increasing light, and we hold still, allowing all that is within us to rise to the surface, to become vulnerable and real. We begin this season of waiting with the tail end of Hanukkah, which itself marks a time of awaiting freedom and redemption. After Hanukkah, there are no Jewish holidays during this period. And then it says, but we know as soon as the 6 weeks of the branch end, the holiday of the trees, Tu B'Shvat, arrives to let us know that our waiting has borne fruit. In many cultures, the period during and after the winter solstice is a season of waiting for the sun to grow in strength, a season of expectation. Our own secular New Year falls during this time, as does Christmas and the modern African-American festival of Kwanzaa. The Romans celebrated Saturnalia during the winter solstice period, a fact recorded in the Talmud. The Hindu Diwali, a festival of lights, also comes during this season. This period of the Jewish calendar teaches us patience and courage, skills we will need to tend and harvest the seeds we have planted. For now, we are like the branches of the tree, strong enough to weather whatever comes until the season of buds is on us again. And now, before the Shema, we'll go off Siddur one more time. But I promise the chorus of this is very easy. There's only one word. One love for each other, sisters, brothers, and siblings. We're one, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other, sing it one, 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 one. Come on, one, 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 one. One love, one blood, one heart, one soul, one drum, one rhythm, one tribe, and all of us singing one, yeah. One, one, oh, one, yeah, one, 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 one. Love is the temple. Love the higher law. Love is the temple. Love the highest law. Love is the temple. Love the higher law. Love is the temple. Love the highest law. Come on, one. Sing it. One, believe it. One, live it. One more time. Oh, yeah, one. 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 And now, Shema Yisrael. Also with that word one, echad in Hebrew, our way of expressing that oneness, that is really difficult to achieve, but it's the truth. You know, we're all connected. Sometimes we don't act like it. A lot of times we don't act like it. Sometimes we don't even believe it. But there are always signs that we really are connected and we really are one. So if it is your tradition to stand when you recite the Shema, I invite you to stand. Otherwise, you can stay seated. We will all be, however, chanting the same words wherever we are, however we've positioned ourselves on page 64. So take another deep breath, a nishima amuka. Here we go. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. Continuing on the next page. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlektecha v'derech ushokbecha uvkumecha ukshartam le'od al yadecha ve'hayu letotafo bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvihisharecha Leman tizkeru v'yasitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'lohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 68. Michamocha. We're only a couple of Shabbats away from the book of Exodus. It's kind of hard to believe if you're following along. It feels like we just had, Simchat Torah and started again on Breshit, and now we've gone through almost all of the stories and the teachings in Genesis, and we're ready to move on to Exodus, where, of course, we get this amazing story. This story that continues to inform us and inspire us, this story of slavery turning into freedom and oppression turning into justice, and the fact that that cycle is not over, obviously. There is still oppression that needs to turn into justice, and there is still slavery that needs to turn into freedom and liberation, and that is an endless cycle that we all have to find our way. How do we insert ourselves in that drama? And I mean that word in its best sense, the ongoing drama of history. And so we put this prayer that comes from the moment of freedom in the story, the Song of the Sea, not just to kind of remind ourselves, because we have Passover for that, but to kind of keep us going, keep us marching forward, keep on supporting each other and uplifting each other and bringing freedom in any way we can to whoever needs liberation. So, Michamocha. Yai lai 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 ya lai la lai yai lai 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 ya lai la lai yai lai 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 ya lai la lai ya lai 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 yai lai lai yai lai yai lai 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 ya la lai yai lai 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 yai lai lai yai lai yai lai 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 ya la lai yai lai 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 mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha neder b'kodesh Nora tehilot Osei fele Yai lai lai yai lai yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai 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 yai lai lai yai lai yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai 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 Yayim loch le'olam va'ed Yayim loch le'olam va'ed Yayim loch le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed Yai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai. We're on page 70. Please stand if you are able. To begin this section of prayers, we again invoke the book of Psalms, a verse from a psalm. I call this one the Psalm of Opening because it has that wonderful Hebrew verb, patach, which means to open. So it invokes open hearts and open souls, open minds. Yeah, keep that Kleenex flowing. That's good. Open minds. We got these amazing scientist grooms in the front, so I have to say open minds, right? Science, at its best, religion should incorporate science and embrace science. The more we know about the world, the more in awe we are of the world, right? So open arms to include and embrace. And then the prayer says, or the psalm says, our mouths should be open for words of kindness and grace and goodness and love. So on page 70. Yai, yai, lai, 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 Adonai. Yai, lai, 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 Sefatai, Tiftach. Yai, lai, 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 Ufi, Agi. Ufi, Agi. Tehilatecha, Yai lai 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 Adonai, Yai lai 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 Sefatai Tiftach, Yai lai 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 Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Yai lai 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 Adonai. Yai lai 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 Sefatai Tiftach, Yai lai 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 Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Yai lai 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 Adonai, Yai lai 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 Sefatai Tiftach, Yai lai 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 Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. I lai la lai la lai lai Adonai, Yai lai la lai lai Sefatai Tiftach, Yai lai la lai la lai Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. On 71. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, v'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imavot, u'Mevi Gula livnei v'Nehem, Lama'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Sohomek noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Micha mocha baal givurot, umido melach, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Pages 74 and 75. It's the center of the service, and in many ways it's the heart of the service. It's prayer about holiness, about filling the spaces between us. About, the portion you'll hear from Jerry is Vayigash. It means to draw near, literally. And that's what we do when we're here. We're supposed to draw close to each other. We need each other from all our walks of life and all our different paths and wherever it is we came from. For whatever reason we're here, it's time to draw close. Nikadesh et shimcha ba'olam, kishem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, kakatuv al yad niviecha, v'kara ze el ze ve'amar, kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzivaot, Milo kol haaretz kivodo. Adir adirenu Adonai Adonenu Ma'adir Shimcha b'chol haaretz. Baruch kivo Adonai mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu, vehu Yashmienu, v'rachamav lehinei kol chai. Ha'ani Adonai lo hechem, yimloch Adonai leolam. Elohai Yitzion, Lidor Vador, Hallelujah. Lidor Vador Nogid God Lecha, Unlethach Netzachim Kedushaka Nakdish, Ushivcha Eloheinu, Mipinu Lo Yamush, Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. We have a song about Shabbat, comes from the Torah. It is Shabbat, and we're supposed to recognize it as a sign, it says, an ot in the tradition. Maybe it's a sign of, that we can, this is the kind of world that we can create, not just on Shabbat, but all the time. Maybe this is a sign that we can come together and connect to each other and sing together and believe, have faith in the repair of the world, all the things we do on Shabbat. And maybe the sign is that it's supposed to point us towards a better reality, not just on Shabbat, but all the time. That's how I'm going to think about it today. The Shamru says, guard Shabbat. And that's what, in our way, that's what we're doing right now. Keeping the Sabbath, reminding ourselves that it is a holy time, and allowing us to fill ourselves with our best selves, with our spirit, our neshamot. So when we leave here, we do leave a little bit elevated with some transcendence and giving us strength to keep on going despite it all and making a difference in our worlds and in the world. So this is Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'doratam berit olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam oti le'olam v'shamru v'nei Yisrael ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'doratam berit olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'doratam berit olam uve'yom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'doratam berit olam le'doratam berit olam. Page 77. I'm going to have Leslie gift us her voice and sing this prayer. Avodah, which means three things. It means worship, and it means work, and it means service. That we are here to serve each other. Avodat Yisrael Amecha Baruch atah Adonai Hamachazir Shechinato Letzion Hamachazir Shechinato Letzion Amen. Page 79. On the bottom, I've been also singing this a lot in the place where the prayer for shalom goes. This is a contemporary prayer written by a rabbi who I've met, who lives in Berkeley, and it's a good place for him, Berkeley, California. But wonderful rabbi in the conservative movement, and he wrote this, and it's kind of become sort of ubiquitous in parts of the Jewish world, even sung at protests. Our friend KB sang this a few years ago. in a legal protest in the Capitol. I have to say that. But during the whole issue about immigration and the incredibly draconian measures that were being taken back in that time, still some of them are still taken, and a group of Jews and non-Jews sat on the floor of the Capitol to raise their voice in favor of being humane, what a radical concept, to everybody, wherever they came from. And one of the songs they sang, and it's a great YouTube video of KB and this wonderful group singing Olam Chesed Yibaneh. This notion that we keep trying to build and rebuild the world with chesed, with kindness, with love and with compassion and with justice. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, yada lai, yada lai. I will build this world from love. Yada lai, yada lai, and you must build this world from love. Yada lai, yada lai, and if we build this world from love, yada lai, then God will build this world from love. Yada lai, Olam Chesed. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, yada lai, and Olam Chesed Yibaneh, yada lai, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, yada lai, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, yada lai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, yada lai. Amen. A few moments of silent prayer and reflection, meditation. We'll come back. It'll be time to start the Torah service, but before that, our post-roof coming right up for everybody. Amen. Amen, amen. All right, so, boy, it's my pleasure and my honor to ask this wonderful newlywed couple, Adam and Tian, to come on up and join me up here. This is Adam and Tian. Bring the whole thing. Come here. So Adam and Tian, just back in November, had this indescribably amazing wedding, and the joy and the blessings that sort of came from that weekend in Dallas. I think what happened was you just couldn't keep it contained to Dallas. You had to make sure that everyone who loves you and cares about you and who you love and cares about shared in just the beauty and the love that you shared with those of us who are privileged to be with you. And so this is sort of, I think, the post-wedding tour that you're on. And so for their CRC community, you know, Adam and Tian have, I think, many homes. They left their Boston home not too long ago for a new home in Los Angeles. And of course, Dallas, where Tian and his family, or Tian's family is from, are homes for Adam and Tian. But of course, St. Louis, thank God, is one of your homes. And not only just St. Louis, but CRC, right? Adam and Aaron, I remember your bar mitzvahs like a blink of an eye ago, and everything else, just the whole journey. So it's really a privilege for us that you've chosen to come here this morning and receive this blessing. So I brought this talit. It happens to be a rainbow talis, which I'm happy about. And I'm going to bring the microphone up. I'm going to ask Erica and Jim to help hold the talit over your children here. It's not exactly a chuppah, but something that we, right? But it's like that. When we put a talit over the two of you, that's our way in the synagogue of continuing to cover you with embrace and with blessing. So I guess should we do right here, and then let's go up on this. These guys like the stage. There's no doubt. So let's do it up.